1. The Sisterhood, season 2, first episode 1. Hey there, Jane.
Hey.
How was your week?
It was good. It was busy as usual. I've been really exhausted this weekend, so it was busy, but it was good overall. How about yours?
Awesome. Ooh, oh my God, I did 2 fun things this week. I had my 6-month dental cleaning, which is something I look forward to because I love when they clean my teeth, and I love my dental hygienist, and I love my dentist, Dr. G.
Yeah.
And we actually did a consultation too because I got to get my bottom wisdom teeth out, and they're gonna where I have 2 teeth, like 2 spots on both sides, the same teeth, but on opposite sides, where I never had adult teeth. I only had baby teeth.
Right.
Apparently it's evolution because we don't need them anymore, I guess, because of, we're chewing differently and whatever. But anyways, I'm not gonna deny the fact that it makes me self-conscious sometimes when I see myself and I'm like, God, I'm toothless. I'm one of those. So anyways, after the braces, we're gonna do implants, and it's gonna correct my chewing because the way I'm chewing, I'm like putting pressure on other parts of my teeth to like chew, and the bone up there can diminish if you're not putting even pressure on it. Or they're selling me implants, but they sold me, so I'm doing it. Probably not till. I was supposed to get my braces off in January, but now I have another round of it. So probably we're looking at I hope I get my braces off sooner, but whatever I'm trusting the process. So we're thinking May, June when they are going to do the surgery.
Nice.
But the one thing I'm terrified of, I am going to go under, which that's fine. But I just don't like the thought, all those videos where people come out of that and they're saying ridiculous shit. And I can't trust myself. I don't know what I'll freaking say. I feel like it's going to be bizarre. And Jenny,
I'm sorry. I'm going to stop right there.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there might be a video going around of a very high Jane pre-surgery where I maybe am very enthralled with my own hand.
Okay, fine. I deserve it. But
I feel like that was hilarious to everybody who saw it because
because you move a million miles a minute and all of a sudden you were beyond pace. It was like
I was fully sloth mode in the video. Yeah. And I was like a baby in the womb, like I saw my hand for the first time.
Yeah, it was actually precious and adorable. I couldn't wait to get that freaking medicine in you next round. Oh, shit.
Nice.
Yeah. The second thing I got to do this week, I went and saw my hairstylist, Melissa Sims, and every time I see her, I just leave that place, A, with a fresh haircut, and B, just feeling so uplifted because this is a girl that anything she is a jack. What's a Jill of all trades? Anything she puts her energy in, she dominates, literally. I remember one time we did canvas at my house and I pulled out all my paints and everyone just painted what they wanted to. And I did this really curvy backside of a lady, but also kind of like a guitar shape. And I was so proud of it. And then I looked over at hers and it was not to compare because there is no comparison, but her shit was on crack good. And I'm like, Melissa, do you paint a lot? And she's like, not really. But she's just good at everything. She's also heavily into our community. I forget what she does. She was voted in.
She was elected something, wasn't she?
She's an elected official in our community, but I don't know how she makes the time to do all the things she does. And when I was at her house this week, she walked me through. She's taking canning classes with her husband. And
that's awesome.
They're canning the shit out of everything. And she sent me home with this apple butter or apple jelly with 4 ingredients in it. It's to fucking die for. There's no, it's not sweet. It's just naturally sweet. It's so good. So anyway, and I love her and her husband. She just got married last February. And it's the perfect match. I actually think she's a lot like you, Jane, and very when she puts her mind to something, it's got to get done immediately. Jeff, her husband, maybe a little more like me. And, he'll figure out it'll get done, but on his time. And I'll give you an example. She does a recipe and she follows it by the book, or if she changes it out, she really methodically thinks about like what should substitute it to make it her own. He'll just toss some shit together.
Yeah.
Him.
Yeah.
And that would be job her.
Yeah.
So anyway, but I left there.
It sounds like a good example of opposites attract, and you know the people in your life are sort of. If we were all the same, it'd be really boring. And so the people in our life like can compliment us, especially the people that we choose to keep in our circles, whatever that circle is.
Exactly. He brings her some calm, and I love that.
Remember when we were going to get our sister tattoos before you talked me into the sleeve tattoo of the dragonfly and
yeah. Last minute, like right after
we had talked about there was one that was like sister tattoos and it was like wings and it said, I'll be the wings that keep your head in the cloud. And then it was like an anchor. Hi. And it was like, I'll be the anchor that keeps your feet on the ground.
Yeah. Actually, we should go do that.
I'm sure if we took a vote, nobody would question who was the wings and who was the anchor. But
so true.
But it sounds like that's their dynamic too, you know, and that's you and Jeff. Like you're the wings and he's the anchor, and she's the wing, or she's the anchor and he's the wings.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Jane, but now that you mentioned tattoos, should we do that? Because I feel like, but can we keep it to like stamp size?
I mean, I kind of thought that's what we were doing.
Well, it is an anchor, technically, the heart on the bottom.
Yes, that's true.
Very enlarged
and technically
dragonfly.
Both of them have wings, your hummingbird and my dragonfly.
Oh my god, so we did it.
We kind of did the anchors, and you have the anchor heart and I have the anchor heart.
Yes. You know what?
Crazy is that?
I think actually it's perfect. I will admit too, like I was expecting, this is why we need female artists. Males don't get it. Like when I got this little tiny tattoo on my neck, and all I wanted was like a cute, bubbly little red heart. Yeah. And he butchered it. And I'm like, what the fuck? I had to have some lady come in and like make it bubbly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just think that's an example of where, I don't know, I just like an OBGYN, I'm going to a female.
All day. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want a man telling me about my vagina.
Right. Thank you. Or like when you, remember when we went to get our tattoos and we had a male tattoo artist? Hence why I had a sleeve tattoo when I thought it was going to be postage.
Exactly. That's my point. I feel like he didn't understand the freaking mission, which was dainty.
Yeah. And also, I mean, to be fair, I don't think I was in the right mindset to probably pick out tattoos. Although I do think they happened probably the way they were supposed to. Because again, somehow we got our wings and our anchors, which is crazy.
Yeah, I know.
But do you remember that day?
Oh, I remember. Travis was terrified of you.
He should be. First of all, I had just gotten my first of 2 cancer diagnoses. And then we went there. So I was like, the pictures alone tell about like Jenny is laid out on the table, living her best life, happy to be there, enjoying the pain. Like all of it. Just, I mean, literally looks like she's on vacation. She might have had a drink in hand.
So
like
true.
She's by the water. I don't know.
I know.
And then you look at a picture of me. I'm splayed out on the table, sunglasses on like Jackie O. I got my arm out. I'm in distress. The whole thing.
Yeah, you are.
It was like the whole thing. And then Travis kept fucking talking. And I'm like, dude, I need you to zip it and do it. Like, we're doing this.
You're like, it's taking way longer than it needs to. And I'm in my mind about it. Like, what the fuck?
It's a goddamn stick drawing. And Jenny's took 45 minutes. I was like, I don't know what's happening.
I also think he thinks we were kind of cute. So he just wanted us to stick around as long as possible.
I'm pretty sure after I said to him, Travis, I'm going to need you to talk less and tattoo more. That's when he was done.
That actually happened. Travis he was butthurt after that.
Travis was in his feelings. I had to tell him, like, I'm not mad, Travis, but I haven't done this since the last time Jenny talked me into it, and I was 18.
At 18? Yeah. Exactly.
And I'm going to need you. I'm like, in my mind, you're about to amputate something. So I just need you to get started. Like, it's hilarious. What are we doing?
Yeah, I know. We should stop by and say hi to Travis next time we're in, where were we? The Bulldog. Athens, Georgia. Yeah. What a cute little town.
It is adorable. I really liked it. I mean, I wish we weren't going there for cancer appointments, but otherwise it was really nice. We found a cool coffee shop.
Oh my God, we did. Next time we go there, and we found that place that had all that like natural food.
Oh, yeah. The
Farm to Table.
Farm
I
to
know.
Table.
I forget the
Yeah,
name
that was
of it,
good.
but it was such. Oh my god, what did we have? We had like beets and
Yeah, it was like all types of like pickled onions and beets and
oh my
like different greens, and
yeah,
it was good. I think maybe did we have quinoa or something in it? Like
we had quinoa.
there
Yeah,
was something in it. I can't remember, but it was like these bowls,
yeah,
and everything
exactly.
was all natural and organic.
Next time we should go and go. I am dying to go horseback riding, even though
Oh,
I feel like I might be fearful. But they had like 9. Is it a ranches around there? Because
yeah,
that was the other idea I had. If it wasn't a tattoo, I was going to get you on a horse after
yeah.
that diagnosis.
And I was
I
like,
felt
you know what could add to this day? Getting thrown off a fucking horse. Like,
I just wanted you to be in touch with like some spirituality, and I feel like
I would have been grounded all right when I landed.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. All right, Jane, random question generator. What have you found more helpful than you ever imagined it could be? I found this to be a hard one.
Yeah. So I think probably exercise has been something that growing up, like, although we were always active, I don't think I ever knew how much my body needed it. And every time I like don't do it, I can tell like
Yeah.
immediately in every part, like in how I feel, in how, like, I always joke about how my 40s have humbled me so much because I didn't really ever have any health issues before that. And I ever feel like, why am I getting out of bed? And I feel like I am 91 years old today.
Right.
And like, for example, maybe we need to add a new section called How Did Jane's 40s Humble Her This Week?
Yeah.
So,
let's do it. But give us an example.
What happened was last night before I went to bed, I put my hair in a bun up on top of my head just because I didn't want to like sleep on it. And so I still had it in this morning until I got in the shower. And when I took it out, I swear to you, my head is bruised. I'm like, how is my head bruised just from putting my hair up? But I felt like when I took it out but I never did wear ponytails and buns and all types of stuff always growing up. And I'm like, why in my 40s all of a sudden it gives me a TBI? Like, what just happened?
Right.
And
I know.
so, and then also this morning when I was on my walk with Bentley, he was smelling the ice because we're still melting the snow out there. And I stopped walking to tie up the bag, and he must have been on the hunt for something. He smelled and he pulled the leash, and I threw my hip out. I was like, what just happened?
Yeah. It's a real thing.
Luckily it just went back in, but I was like, for a second, I was like, what is going on here?
Whoa. Yeah. Big time.
So I think exercise, definitely, stretching, which we'll talk about that later, but I think probably sleep is more important than I ever gave it credit for, because I'll tell you what, when I
get it.
Yeah, when I first had my surgery and couldn't sleep for like weeks and weeks, I think I was like a zombie, and I felt like that before. So, and even now, I still wake up a lot at night, more than I ever have. And I definitely notice how much it messes with like my mind, my head, my
ability
mood.
To like feel your emotions.
My mood.
Know you have emotions, but not feel them so much that it's constant tears.
My ability to keep up with the exercise and stuff when you're so tired all the time. It's so hard to like get the motivation to do it, even though I know I'll feel better after.
And you know that exercise helps the sleep.
And so, but it's just like, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. So I think those things all are things that I had no idea were as important as they are. But I think if we also want to be honest, a vacuum on every floor changed my life. Anyhow.
Yeah. Wait, what was that?
A vacuum on every floor changed my life.
Yeah, no, in every room. Let's be honest. Sorry, but it's changed my life too, because even today and yesterday and the day before, just whipping out the vacuum.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I was almost going to bring in the thing that you bought me for Christmas, because again, you influenced me. My face feels so good. My neck feels so good.
Yeah.
I don't have it. Maybe next episode I'll bring it back and show you you taught me the routine. But and now it's all over my algorithms, because it's all over my TikTok and Insta and Facebook. Yeah. So I'm gonna find some more tips. I almost want to do my forehead.
You can do your forehead. You're supposed to go up and out.
Really?
And it makes a difference on your wrinkles.
Oh, sweet. Well, then maybe I will start doing that. Would that still be the red light?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm not sure. Like the blue light, I think is for acne. Maybe I'm not sure what the green light is.
You
can look them up. Yeah.
I didn't.
But I know
just
the
didn't.
red light is for fine lines and wrinkles and like puffiness. That's what, because
All
it's
right.
lymphatic drainage.
Well, since we talked about it, we'll bring it back next week and show everyone.
Okay.
Jane, for me, for the question, what have you found more helpful than you could have ever imagined it could be? I keep going into pause and rest and not sleep rest, but like not having to have 1,000 things that I have to do and like really focusing on the things that I need to do and maybe some things I have to do, but not because I need, but I pull those in because I want to, not because I have them on my list and feel like I have to. But my goal for 2025 is to really focus on pausing more. And I'll talk about this later too, but, and the yoga and meditation is game freaking changing. Like I'm dreaming vividly. I'm breathing through, like, okay, I'll give you an example. Yesterday, Jeff and I picked up chicken, and I was getting carrots and celery with it. And he got the chicken home and it didn't have carrots and celery. Well, we thought it didn't. He's like, oh crap, they forgot the carrots and celery. And I'm like, GD, I'm going to get it because A, it's 5 minutes down the road and we paid for it. And I had that plan for what I was eating. And so I wanted it. And he's like, I'll cut you up carrots. We just don't have celery. I'm like, no, I'm going. And he's like, I'm sorry. I'm like, it's not your fault. I mean, we just, you know, I know people check their to-goes, but like we just didn't. And so anyway, I get in the car. Also, a little precursor, I was vacuuming when Jeff went to pick it up in the first place. And so I mid-vacuum his office and he freaking comes in. I hate being scared. I know you mentioned that with you, Liz. I literally hate it. It makes me angry. If I get scared, I feel like violence come through me. Well, I thought it was a fucking rapist and he grabbed me by the hips and I turned around. I was like, I don't even want to look at my face because I think it would have been not a pretty look on me. Yeah. Like devil came out and I was starving. So me being hungry is already a thing. Yeah. Hangry. I get wicked hangry. That's why I usually don't let that happen. And then in addition to that, being scared, I wasn't in the greatest frame of mind. And here I am trying to like not let my emotions affect other people. So just putting that in the picture that I was there, right? And so Jeff's like, are you upset? I'm like, no, I'm just going to go get my carrots and celery. So I call Sapphires and I'm like, hey, the carrots and celery weren't in the, I'm Jenny, Jeff's wife, because he ordered there and they know him. And I'm like, the carrots and celery weren't in the container. Do you mind if I come down and pick it up? And she's like, no, come on down. So I hop in the Forerunner, Jeff stays here, and I get to Sapphire's parking lot, and a phone call comes through my phone, but it looked like the school. They email, they text, they freaking call. I just can't do all the things. I'll read the text. So I decline, and it calls right back, and I'm like, all right, what's going on? So I answer the phone. It's Sapphires, and they're like, check under the chicken. There's parchment paper. See if you've got the carrots and celery. And I'm like, well, I'm in your parking lot, so hang on a second. Let me call my husband. Call Jeff back. He's like, oops. and so we had the carrots and celery the whole time. So I call Sapphires back, and I'm like, yes, we have it. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you again soon. Get in the car. Now, hangry, scared Jenny could be a raging bitch. But I was like, put on your Seasons of the Witch, your favorite freaking song right now. Open your windows, even though it's in the 30s. Drive home and let this shit go. And so I blasted music with the radio down. By the end, I was happy. Yeah. And I pulled into the parking lot and Jeff's standing in the door and he's like, I'm sorry. He mouthed it. And I'm like smiling. And then we both fucking died laughing and got out of the car and went and ate our lunch. And it was all good to go. But old Jenny could not have done that. Old Jenny would have still been just annoyed, not mad at Jeff. Jeff didn't do anything wrong, but just like the emotions can get the best of me. Yeah. And I honestly think this is part of the whole pause. It's like, is this really worth your energy to get, that angry over? No, it's not. Yeah. So I felt like I'm growing, and I felt like I proved it to myself.
You are. And I just want to tell you, because when apparently we have the same experiences, Mom ordered her groceries this morning, and she was ordering sandwiches from Publix, and she got me one too, which was really nice of her. And I'm like a plain turkey and cheese, a little bit of mayonnaise, because mayonnaise grosses me out because it looks like cellulite. And I can only have enough on there so it's not dry, but I don't want a lot because it's like too much. And so,
and they plastered
and
it.
they, ugh. And so, and I don't do mustard or anything, and I just do like lettuce and tomatoes and then like shakers and the oil and vinegar. That's it.
Yeah.
Like just pretty plain sandwich.
Yeah.
And somehow I got Chuck's sandwich, which was first of all basically a foot long, which I only ordered a half, and had turkey and Swiss. And Chuck and I, that's all we have in common is turkey and Swiss, because everything else I was like, Chuck, man, I don't. First of all, double mayonnaise. Why? God, why? Second of all, honey mustard? I'm sorry, what?
So wait, did you get to eat the sandwich?
No, I ate around as best I could, but when I pulled the meat up, there was so much mayonnaise, I was just done at that point.
Yeah. Oh,
but,
that's
and honey mustard. And
I call
extra onions. Like when I say extra onions, I mean it. You might have thought they were lettuce. No, they were onions. Yeah, it was a lot. The only things we had in common were the turkey and the cheese, and I don't even think he had lettuce on it. I think he just had onions.
Oh my goodness!
Lettuce. I was like, Chuck, also, nobody's allowed to come near you for 2 days after you eat that because your breath would be kicking. Like, oh
yeah. And honestly, when you're sweating and shit, it comes out. Jane, did you call and tell them so you can get your sub?
No, I was getting on the podcast with you.
Okay.
But I did try to eat it, but I couldn't. It was like the amount of mayonnaise. I think he got double too. I was like, what is this, Chuck?
When we get off the phone or off the podcast, you should just call and get your sub because you paid for it.
I was like, ew. It was so gross.
Yeah.
It was so much.
I'm sure Chuck was thrilled.
Yeah, well, that's what I called Mom downstairs because I was waiting for I made hot tea, and I was waiting for my hot tea. And so I called her and said, hey, Mom, what did you get on your sub? Just because I want to make sure I'm not going to eat your sub and you have mine. And so she's like, I got roast beef. And I was like, is that what you actually got? And does yours say Chuck on it? And she's like, no, I got roast beef. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I was telling her, and she apologized. And I was like, not your fault. And but it was a lot. But she did get hers.
Yeah. So they messed up the order. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they just put them in the wrong bags or something. And then the DoorDash.
Well, if you want to eat your later, you should call after the podcast. They'll honor it because they fucked up.
Yeah. I was just
and not like you won't go back. They make good subs. It's just like, when I have my mindset on what I'm eating, I really want to eat that.
Yeah. And the thing for us is like Publix for like where we are, it's not 5 minutes down the road. It's like 15 minutes. And then you have to wait the longest line in America.
Well, maybe they'll give you a voucher.
Yeah, maybe she can get it added back to her grocery tab or something for the next time because she orders her groceries there every single week.
Yeah, and they literally know her.
I just was like, Chuck, first of all, if we ever meet, I need to talk to you about your sub choices because I have a lot of concerns.
Oh my God, you're cleaning McDonald's on New Year's Day with Chuck.
When I tell you, we couldn't. I can never look at somebody who can eat that much.
No, that's hilarious.
No, I'm just kidding. But I would be grossed out making a sandwich for somebody that ate that much mayonnaise.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like cellulite.
Gross.
Yeah.
All right, Jane, products. Something you notice and you use and love to discuss and mention. All right. Do you want to go first?
No, you go.
Okay. Well, product to me means anything that I have and use and love. So I am doing and I'm going to read what they are. I'm a Levi's girl, like at heart. I've tried to go to other jean brands. Like I do like Abercrombie. I also like real jeans, not the stretch, but like what I wore in the 90s. I like those jeans. Levi's makes this Levi's Ribcage Bell women's jeans. I'm going to show you them because I'm wearing my light ones, but I also brought, so you guys can see the colors I have. I love that.
Oh God. Do we have time to go through all the colors you have?
Well, I only have 4 colors in these.
Whoa.
This is like, I feel like you can wear these casual Friday and stuff at work.
Yeah.
The dark denim, I feel like you can wear dark denim anytime.
Yeah.
And they don't have holes or fray or anything. And then black denim. I feel like that's totally allowed in my world for professional dress because I think they look amazing. But I'm wearing the light denim, which are the only ones that do have some fray and stuff. Because light denim, although I think it can look good at work, I feel like is more of a playtime denim. Hang on, I'm going to show you them.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to show you the booty because I think it's popping in them.
Uh-huh.
Look at that. But look at the bell at the bottom.
Oh yeah, they're big.
I have to put my vest back on because it's freaking freezing in my office. But I feel like these jeans could be flattering on any body type, and because they're not stretch and they're real jean material, I think they have a little bit of stretch in them, but I can't tell, which makes me happy.
Yeah.
I feel like, and they cinch your waist and then they bell at the bottom.
Yeah.
These are length 32, which is long for me, but I always wear it like a black heel.
Yeah.
So they're perfect with my heels, but I can't deny these jeans. So that's my product for the week.
Okay.
How about you?
I've been drinking because I've been trying to not drink, like, I don't want coffee in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I only drink coffee in the morning, and then but I still like hot liquids in the afternoon, especially because it's been so cold. So I've been doing different tea bags, and this is one of the ones that I've been doing. I don't know if you can see it. It's called Stay Well.
Stay Well. Yeah. What's in it?
It's got
chamomile,
lemon, and echinacea herbal tea is what it says, but it's got ingredients: echinacea, lemongrass, natural lemon flavor, fennel, licorice root, peppermint, sage, plantain leaves, elderflowers, marshmallow root, rosehip, thyme, and lemon balm.
Marshmallow root's really good for you. Oh, yeah. I thought the flower was echinacea. So it is
echinacea.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Beautiful. You know what?
But it's called Stay Well, and it's big low benefits, but I really like them. They have a bunch of different, they have a couple of different Stay Wells. Then they have a lean one, which is supposed to be good for your metabolism or something. And
nice.
There's a couple different ones, but yeah, I've been liking them.
You always get me back on tea, and I want to bring tea. I'm going to get to this in a minute, but I've been looking up all these natural herbs and medicine that can just help with menopause because I'm freaking hitting it.
Yeah.
I'm definitely in perimenopause, but it's ooh, I get to be in perimenopause and still have a regular monthly because you know what? That's how I roll. And I've got this new thing where I am embracing my monthly because I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I know we talked about it, but because of all the toxins you release from your body, which I'd never realized. And also I think I'm on the moon cycle, which I think is really cool. Yeah. So, anyways, now I love my period. I love you. But anyways, I'm in perimenopause with a period. So that's freaking awesome.
I would like it on the record that Jen's period, I love you too, especially when you sync up with Olivia's period. That's a great game.
Oh my God, that's so much fun.
Right. I mean, I wonder if that's on the moon cycle or the hell cycle. I don't know.
All right. So what have I been listening to this week? I started a new podcast. I'm going to read a little about it. It's called Menopause Mastery, and it's by Betty Murray. And I was drawn to it because of an episode titled "How to Use Ancient Wisdom to Improve and Master Menopause," and I do think hormones are so important. And I know there's the hormone therapy, and a lot of women are getting great benefits from it. And because I'm not quite there yet, but I'm starting to get into it, I just want to get ahead of anything I can do naturally for myself. And so this, how to use ancient wisdom to improve and master menopause. And it talks about, turmeric, which last January, I added a daily shot of, and I literally get a bag of lemons every week, and I cut my lemon up, I squeeze it into a little bourbon glass, and then I add 5 shots of cayenne, 5 shots of turmeric, I like pepper, so a lot of pepper, because that activates the turmeric, and olive oil, just a little bit, because the fat in the olive oil helps your body absorb all those ingredients. And then I also take the lemon after, just so I don't waste, and I squeeze anything else in my hand, and I put it on my face because it actually lightens age spots.
Nice.
But they talk about the beauty of turmeric and how it reduces inflammation. And I will tell you, I look forward to that freaking shot every day. I feel the cayenne kick my lymphatic into turbo, and I can literally feel it flush through my body. And I cannot deny the fact that in a year, the amount of inflammation that I think I've reduced, especially in my belly area, like lower belly, where I've always had like a little, not a little, sometimes a lot and sometimes a little, but like a belly.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's gone, but it's definitely the
It's
smallest
pretty,
it's ever been
I was going to
in my
say, it's pretty damn close to gone.
I feel like that whole combination plus my castor oil packs that I do a couple times a week, or 4 or 5 actually, I think it tremendously helped, because really there wasn't that much difference in my diet.
Yeah.
But the fact that they brought turmeric up, and they also brought up Ayurvedic health, and I'm going to read this. So Ayurvedic health, it's not, I think it's out of India, and it's like ancient Eastern medicine. And basically the biggest concept of it is we do not live in nature. We are part of nature. So like I am nature. It's not like, oh, I went outside and I'm in nature. No, I am actually nature. And when I look at it like that, it's like, okay, that makes me just want to be so much more nourishing to my body, because, and to think, well, you know how I like name all my furniture? I name every object that I use and they always get a name. And I've been doing that for a long time. That was just something I did.
Yeah.
And I feel like because everything I come into contact with, even if it's man-made or whatever, is something. And I just feel like it deserves a name, especially if it's in my life all the time. And so anyways, getting into this Ayurvedic health, I think I'm actually already on that track, but I just didn't realize there was a term for it. And so now I'm doing deep dives. Like Jane, season 2 is going to be all over Ayurvedic health and what it can do for you. But bringing it back to your teas are like a huge, you know, and all the herbs and medicines you can get out of that tea are like a huge health bonus. And like if we can make that part of our daily regimen as something we look forward to, you know, I feel like we're kind of on point there.
Yeah. I mean, I tried your super hot, make you die cayenne shot.
I know.
And I can't really handle pepper. So it wasn't really for me. But I do think it's helpful to you.
It is.
Probably to others who can manage any kind of heat in their life.
Jeff did it because he does like spice. Jeff did it the 1 month in January and he's like, I'm not doing it again. And then this year I'm like, do you want to get back on the shots with me? He's like, nope. And I'm like, okay, no worries. But bringing that back to Ayurvedic health, there's like these doshas that you fit into, and what you just described, because I think I run fiery, which I believe is pitta, and I do love the spice and I need that. But I also have been experiencing hot flashes lately, like regularly. And so it talks about like bringing in more cooling foods, like, you know, Greek yogurt, and actually it talks about bringing in milks, and I'm actually currently experimenting with cashew milk. Yeah. And I've got this mushroom mud water. Ooh, I'll bring that. That might be my product for next week. But I'm not going to do cashew milk every day because I don't want to introduce something to my diet that I haven't been doing all the time and have negative effects. But I am going to have cashew milk somewhat, you know, on a regular cadence in a month, and I'm going to see how I feel. But making a latte with the organic cashew milk, it's got 4 ingredients in it, and none of them are something I can't say out, like say because it's a chemical that I can't say the word. It's like natural milk or natural ingredients, and mixing it with the mud water and a little bit of honey. Oh my God, it is so freaking good. It's an earthy flavor, but I like earthy flavors, but I feel like it feels very cooling. And so that might help my dosha.
I'm going to need somebody who understands the different milks to explain to me how you milk a cashew.
No, you make it's cashew and water. It ends up feeling and looking like a milk, but it's not an animal. But there's a ton of benefits to taking in cashew milk. Heart health, vitamin D, if it's fortified, which I need to do more research on what that means. And I don't know, there's like 5 different things. You're lymphatic. I can't remember them all, but I remember when I read the bottle and did the research, I was like, okay, this is definitely worth trying. Yeah. So I'll let you know how it goes, but it tastes good. It tastes delicious. Yeah. Sorry. My nose won't stop running. which I have a cure for that too that I looked up today, and it's a breathing method, and I'm gonna do it daily until this nose stops running.
Nice.
Okay. Conversations and or thought-provoking quotes or information that have made you think this week. And by the way, for season 2, we are changing this part of the podcast to be called Things That Make You Go, And if anyone was raised in the 90s and listened to CNC Music Factory, you know the song, Things That Make You Go, So that's going to be our new bit instead of thought-provoking, my whole big-ass sentence that is hard to say. And one more thing, fun fact on CNC Music Factory, Goose Creek, my city, opened up a music venue, and they do free concerts for the public. And we went and saw CNC Music Factory in my town this fall, and it was so much fun.
Nice.
Yeah. So Jane, any things that have made you go, this week?
Well, I was reading an article about a woman who had moved during the pandemic from Atlanta to, I think, San Francisco or San Diego. And she was trying to like build a community for herself there of like people and supports and friends and whatever. And she had been having a hard time. She had a couple of friends she made from work, but she was feeling really lonely. And so she set up a party, and she invited 30 women that she knew from different places, like acquaintance type women, thinking, maybe if she got 5 or 6, then she might have this little party, and they were going to make those vision boards or whatever.
Ooh.
And so she set up the whole party, and I think she had like 7 RSVPs. So she was really excited because she was like, this is going to be so great. We're going to make some friends. And she like bought all the vision board supplies and set up the thing and bought all the food and set that all up. And she had like little games to play and like was so excited. And by the day of the party, everybody had backed out. And like the last day, I think the night before, she had gotten 5 people that couldn't come of the 7. And then the next morning she got the other 2. So she did a TikTok, and she was like just talking about how heartbroken she was that she had went through. She had really tried to meet some new people, and she was feeling really lonely, and this was supposed to be a good thing. And she had been so excited about it that she had put all this work and time and money into it. And then nobody showed up. And then I don't know what happened, but it gave me a little bit of faith in humanity that like TikTok embraced her and made this huge virtual like vision board symposium, and they like all got thing, and she made all these friends, and she met people from her community, and like it's been so amazing for her, and it turned into like a really positive thing. And I think what it made me think about was it just restored faith in humanity, because some days are pretty bleak, and you hear a lot of sad stories, or you hear a lot of negativity, and so it was just nice to hear that everybody just kind of saw that, and instead of taking that opportunity to kick her while she was down or talk shit about her getting online and putting her feelings out there and being so vulnerable, they kind of stepped up and were like, we
got you. Let's do vision board.
Yeah, let's we love those too.
Me, that's a prime example of trusting the process, and just know the universe always has your back. Sorry, I'm emotional. And that she did do a good thing, and she was on the right path, and she just had to have a little faith through the process, and then there's her gift. Now she's got a whole community.
Yeah. So.
Also, if me and you were there, if I was there, so this was in Atlanta?
No, she's in, I think, San Diego now. She had moved from Atlanta to San Diego.
Okay. Because I would love to do a vision board.
Yeah, I thought that was such a cool idea. Anyhow, and like her party, like her setup was so nice, and I love throwing parties and like decorating.
Yeah.
And so I've already been eyeballing the decorations for Mom's 70th.
Oh my God. It'd be so much fun.
Yeah. So maybe we could do vision boards.
Let's fucking do vision boards. I think, look at the universe.
Yeah.
Keeping us on this path. Let's do it. I think that'd be so much fun. Can you imagine Dad's vision board?
I can't imagine Dad making a vision board, but
I think he will if Jane has the supplies there. And we don't have to do or we can figure out what the supplies are. I mean, it's a freaking poster board and some magazines you cut out and markers.
Should we? But that just made me think of something else. Should we talk about when you were here for one day after you dropped Mom off and we played that card game?
Oh my God. Yes, let's talk about that. That was so much fun.
So
like You think you know me or something?
Something like that. Yeah. The name, I can't think of the name of it, but I'll have to look it up. I'll bring it on sometime and show it because it was actually really fun. And we kind of made up rules to it because the way that the rules went, I wasn't really down with that.
It was like 2 people made it the whole team.
Yeah. And it was 2 people, but it was like 2 people. And if you add more, you have to do these things. And then it was like, in this, you lose a turn, and this, you do this. And I was like, no, we just want to ask the questions. And so I just became the question asker. And I went through and pulled questions and would ask the group questions. And it was me, Mom, Jenny, Blaine, Haley, Livia, and her friend TJ was on the phone. And so I involved him as much as I could. And
he wanted to be involved.
He absolutely did. I think
he loved it.
But the questions there were some really good thought-provoking questions in there. And the kids were more honest than I thought they were going to be.
Yeah.
And I think for the most part, they really actually enjoyed it. Like they wanted to be a part of it.
They wanted to be part 2 because we broke for dinner, and then they wanted to.
Yeah, came back and did part 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
when we get
together for Mom's birthday weekend, I think we need to do some more games like that. Just because I think it was really helpful, and it started some really good conversations, and it was interesting for sure.
I had a lot of fun at your house doing that. That was fun.
Me too.
So for things that make you go for me. So as you know, Jeff and I are in the middle of dry January, and this year I decided, because usually we walk the dogs, and so we're just chatting while we're walking, but with Boise and her amputation, and she just can't go that far anymore, and we're doing car rides. I was like, what can we do that's a little different? And I love to ask questions. So I put a list together. I found lists, and then I pulled out the questions I wanted. And we have a bit in the daily video that is question of the day for Jeff. Mm-hmm. And so one of the questions was how he manages stress and how I could help. And it made me so sad because, sorry, I cry a lot. Perimenopause? Yes. Perimenopause much? Yes. But anyway.
Wait, isn't it? Tell me you're perimenopausal without telling me you're perimenopausal.
Boom. So the tears. But I kind of always cry.
I do too. I try really hard not to, but sometimes I can't help it.
I'm a daily crier. There's something that's going to bring tears to my eyes every day, whether it's joy or pain or whatever, or feeling someone else's pain, that will really get me. Yeah. But this made me think, because basically what he explained was he internalizes his stress, or he might go for a walk to like take his mind off of it, but like he never puts it on me, and he never does. I never hear anything stressful out of him. And meanwhile, I'm diarrhea of the mouth with stress. And like, if anything stresses me at all, and not just to him, but he's my buddy and always here. And, so he gets the most of it. I just cannot internalize stress at all. Yeah. Like, it comes out of me and I feel better after, but that's not necessarily fair to him, but just like, it made me think about how can I make sure I'm doing check-ins with him so he does have an opportunity to get it off his chest, because I just honestly thought he had no stress because he hides it very well and keeps it
Who
from
do you
me.
know has no stress?
I thought Jeff. I mean, I can tell when he's temperamental, or like if the kids have really fucking pushed him over the cliff because he'll raise his voice, or he'll and then I know, but I just didn't realize. It was like, I know this is me being so self-absorbed sometimes that I just didn't realize he had other stressors that he just wasn't expressing, and it just made me so sad.
Yeah. So what did he say you could do?
Something X-rated.
Oh, Jesus. I should watch the video before I ask the question. God damn it.
No, he didn't say that on the video. We talked more after, but don't worry. His needs are met. But anyway, but that is a stress reliever, and I feel less stressed too, so I'm glad we have that. But like, I want to be able to communicate, and
Yeah.
So, one other thing that made me think this week, I do daily tarot readings. Like, I pull for myself. I've got this little, I think I've talked about it before, Keepers of the Light card deck. Yeah. And it's so uplifting. I just love starting my day. Like, reading my tarot.
Yeah.
And so I keep getting Joan of Arc. I actually keep getting Mother Mary, who is peace and love, and all over my reading, whether it's my focus or what I need to give the universe or what I should be receiving, it's all over it. This week I got women every day because it's a mixture of all these different, you know, people or saints or souls that have just are uplifting. But this week, every time I pulled, it was all women. But Joan of Arc keeps coming up. And one of the, there's a book that tells you more information on the card you pulled.
Yeah.
And this resonates with me so much. This is part of the Joan of Arc card. You are not here to prove yourself to others. Instead, approve of yourself.
Wow.
And I feel like, you know, I have my moments where I am looking for approval from others. And I think that's my ego and not me being like close to my soul and thinking about what I really need, because I don't need validation from others. I just don't. So, I mean, when I have my moments, I am looking for it. But when I really sit in with myself and I think through, it's like, why? You don't need that. Like, you validate yourself. You do what you think is right. You have your own feelings and thoughts and process information the way you do. And so anyways, Joan of Arc, I'm glad I pulled you.
Yeah. Isn't though, I mean, to some degree, yeah, I think to the validation part, but like maybe the acceptance part, I think we do need. Like people do need to be accepted. That's in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, isn't it? On the bottom row, isn't it acceptance in there?
Jane, I don't know, but
Jen, we were both goddamn psych majors. How do you know?
I know. I have very limited knowledge. It's like it's like a knowing, but it's a not a remembering.
Yeah.
But look it up and prove it. But Jane, I think the thing is, you're right about acceptance, but here's what I'm finding, and this is why I love TikTok and why I love the algorithms and the things that social media does. There's a lot of negative shit, fine, but I focus on that. I focus on the positive, and I have found so many people that I feel like could have been my very best friend because we have so much in common about like just our day-to-day habits and stuff, and I feel very accepted.
Yeah.
But it's about surrounding yourself with people that have match your frequency and energy, and you get that fulfillment.
And I'm not saying you need to be accepted by everybody. I think there's always going to be haters out there in every situation. No matter what you bring to the table, there's always going to be people out there that are not accepting of you. But I do think there is a level of, and I just looked it up because I forgot too. But the bottom is physiological needs, which is like food, water, warmth, and rest. Yeah. The second row is safety needs, which is safety and security, obviously. Yeah. The third row is belongingness and love needs, intimate relationships and friends. So that's where the acceptance would fall in. Like you have to be accepted into some group or a friendship or a relationship.
Exactly.
And then above that is esteem needs, prestige, feeling of accomplishment. And then above that is self-actualization, which is achieving one's full potential, including creative activities. And I don't know how many people actually hit that one, but if they do, it's good on them.
Well, maybe we should be striving to hit that.
Yeah. I mean,
seriously.
If you're talking about like your true authentic self all the time, I feel like that is what you're trying to hit.
Yeah, exactly. And do you know, for frequency, the biggest frequency that a human can give off, humans that give off the highest frequency are being their true, it's not love, it's authenticity, being your true self. That's the highest frequency you can give off as a human from the studies they've done. And that makes total sense because when you are yourself, I mean, you love yourself.
Yeah.
So it's above that, you know? So anyway. Well, that was cool. Jane, Taylor Swift song focus lyrics. All right. So this week we picked Clara Bow from the Tortured Poets Department album that just came out while she was on the Eras tour, which by the way is fucking fantastic. And you would have thought it was 2 albums because she released 15 songs and then at midnight released another 15 or something like that.
At 2 a.m. or something, because I was listening to the first round when the second round came out, and I remember being like, wait a minute, what? And then we talked in the morning, and you were like, yeah, I've listened to it 3 times. I'm like, the first or the second or both? And you were like, the second.
And I had known there was a second because I downloaded the first, and that's all I was listening to. Clara Bow is on the first part
Yeah.
of the release.
Yeah.
And it's written by Aaron Brooking Dessner and Taylor Ellison Swift. And Aaron is a part of the band The National, who I've known just from following Taylor, like her. And back in the day when she was with Joe, they were huge fans of The National. I'm sure she's still huge fans. And Aaron is on that Long Pond Studios. He's in that.
Yeah.
From the Folklore album that we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
But so he collaborated with Taylor on Folklore, Evermore, and TTPD. And before we get into Taylor, I just want to tell you my favorite The National song, and it's called I Need My Girl. Totally brings me to my knees. I feel like it's a song that when I hear him sing I Need My Girl and the lyrics to go with it, I feel like it's at times, and I can feel Jeff needing me. Like, it's like the way he phrases it, because there's times when Jeff doesn't need me. He needs to be with his boys on the golf course or whatever. And then there's other times that, like, I just know Jeff needs his JennyB. So, like, I'll try not to cry.
Like when you come here for one day and Jeff posts the saddest freaking video I've ever seen in life.
No.
He's like, I miss my family. I miss my family. Jeff, they've been gone for 3 hours. But still, I love that you miss your family that much because you're that invested in them, and I love that.
They are. And actually, when we were driving up to your house that day, I had like an urge, but I was driving, so I couldn't use my phone. I'm like, Blaine, text your dad and tell him I miss him. So it goes both ways. I need my Jeff too. But there's not a song called I Need My Boy. Maybe I should write it. But hey, still haven't charged my microphone. So I'm just going to hold it for a prop. But this song, I Need My Girl by The National, this is the verse that I love, and I really think about me and Jeff. Remember when you lost your shit and drove the car into the garden and you got out and said I'm sorry to the vines, but no one saw it. I'm gonna crack. Need my girl.
She sounds like a peach.
I need my girl. And the reason why that makes me think of me and Jeff is because I would run something over like a tree or a vine or something and then have to turn around and say I'm so sorry to it. And he would appreciate that side of me, that I can feel connected to, you know,
that
all those things. Yeah, I feel bad. So anyways, I love that verse. But back to Clara Bow by Taylor Swift and Aaron. All right, I got to read you a little about Clara Bow. Clara Bow was an American actress who became a Hollywood star in the 1920s. She is considered one of the most influential female actresses of the silent film era. Bow's roles as a flapper and seductress in silent and talking films influenced American women's fashion and societal roles in the 20s. Her short auburn hair and pencil-thin eyebrows were copied by women across the country. Okay, so Taylor's song. I love her nod to Stevie Nicks in it, and I think she brilliantly captured Stevie Nicks in a verse. And so this I must sing. All right. You look like Stevie Nicks in 75. The hair and lips crowd goes wild. At your fingertips, half moon child, full eclipse. Oh, that just hits me.
She could have been singing about JennyB.
She could have been singing about JennyB. And next part that I really love. Beauty is a beast that roars down on all fours, demanding more. Only when your girlish glow flickers just so do they let you know. It's hell on earth to be heavenly. Them's the breaks, they don't come gently. You look like Taylor Swift in this light. We're loving it. You've got edge. She never did the future's bright, dazzling. Nice. All right, Jane, let's talk about this song.
Okay.
Okay, so here's my thought on it. The part about you've got edge she never did, I feel that. And the reason why I feel it is because why do we do that? Why do we, take a person that was so brilliant, like Clara Bow or Stevie Nicks or Taylor Swift, and then bring in the next artist, musician, whoever, and say, oh, you're just like Taylor Swift, except you've got the edge she never did. You're better. And it's like, I don't know. Taylor Swift, Stevie Nicks, Clara Bow, this new artist coming in that is sharing his or her light or their light, they also are their own unique person and soul. Yeah. And maybe there's comparisons, but not to the point where I feel we should put down the other artists because she's better or they're better. They're not. They're their own unique thing. And I don't understand why we do that.
Yeah. I think there's a part in it where she talks about, or somebody talks about the town being fake, but like you're the real thing. And I think
that is fake, but you're the real thing. Yes.
Yes. And I think that's because I think Taylor's such a genius at the way that she puts out concepts and she puts out, like, she uses symbols and she uses, I think a lot of different things. But in that, what I took from that is like that your environment doesn't necessarily get to define you. So you don't let it take who you are. Don't let it assume that you're somebody else but better, or you're somebody else but not as good. Just, be you and be happy with it. And also recognize that everything you see out there isn't what it seems to be.
Exactly. And that goes back to being your true authentic self. And I think when you hit that level on whatever chart you read,
Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Thank you. And I think that you almost got to get there to not let yourself feel bad about who you are because of that shit, the comparisons and the, not feeling good enough. Oh, I love that song so much, Jane. Promise you have that you were going to make and keep to yourself. And now we're in January of 2025 and it can be for the year. But what are you thinking?
You go first.
Okay. I am hell-bent on my mentality being able to handle that I am going to put yoga and meditation ahead of all the other. I still want all my other stuff. I still want my cardio. I still want my weight-bearing exercises. I still want my routine and all that. But I am going to make yoga and meditation a daily habit. And I don't know another word to use, but I'll use the word habit. But as part of my regimen, because I cannot deny the outcome of what I'm experiencing right now. I just feel so spiritually connected and on my own path. I can't tell you what religion I am because there is not another one. This is the way I'm experiencing, my spirituality. And I think yoga and meditation have completely opened me up to that.
Yeah. And I think I'm gonna, because I haven't been doing as well as I would like with keeping up with the exercise stuff. And I think it just is, we were talking about this earlier about when you feel exhausted all the time, it's hard to stay in front of that. And I feel like I still figured out the sleep thing. And so I'm going to stick with continuing to try to get my cardio and my weight stuff in 4 days a week. But I'm also going to try to do, you sent me some of the somatic yoga stuff. So I'm going to try to start doing that once a day, even if I just get 30 minutes. At least
even 10 minutes.
It's the stretching. It's the, which I think is really good for me. And I do feel like because I feel stiff and old a lot lately, I think that will help with that as well. So I am going to try to do that. I am going to try to make that a focus.
Jane, did I influence you?
You did.
Ah, that's awesome. Yay. Yeah. Awesome. I can't wait. Let's talk about the progress you feel like, just like overall health and well-being as you add that to your lifestyle and see if you feel the same way I do. Yeah. Or your own way about it. But like if you feel the benefits of it as so strongly as I feel like they can benefit you.
Yeah.
All right, Jane, we just finished episode 1 of season 2.
Woo!
And I just want to end with, we are just two sisters having our weekly coffee and spreading joy.
Cheers.
Jane, cheers. Love you so much.
Love you too.
Oh, I got a cashew milk mustache. All right, Jane, I'm going to hit end. I love you. This time I'm really hitting end when I say I'm
not like before. Nailed it.
Nailed it. Ooh, did we? I don't know. No, we didn't.
Love ya.
All right. Love ya.
Bye. Is it done?